Hi, this is Jay LaRose of Saw 3, Insidious, Devil's Carnival, and Repo kind of fame. I don't know, not fame, but hey, you're listening to the Tim O and Harley Show. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Tim O and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to the Tim O and Harley Show. I am Tim O. Over there's my partner in mind crime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben, bringing back the hate, Harley?
That's right, yes.
The hell?
Yes, I am, my friend. Bringing it back.
Do tell,
yes,
tell.
By special request, Timo. Yes.
The Potentate of Hate, the wrestler himself's coming, or the manager is coming back.
Yeah, Potentate of Hate will be making his triumphant return to the pro wrestling ranks.
Oh,
yes, Timo.
No, that means all my face guys they're doomed. They're doomed.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Blue Mondays, let's say, for some people coming up real soon. How about that?
Can I be like the Potentate's little butler guy who just looks at all the face guys and just goes, "You're doomed. You're all doomed."
Yeah,
and then I just walk away.
That'd be perfect.
I walk away.
That'd be perfect, actually. Yeah. But then again, Timo, I think I might need the services of one Timo Esquire. Was it the third? Was it of the lower?
Last honest counsel in the lower Americas. Timo Esquire,
Yes.
I got my docket. I got my clipboard here ready to go.
I think I might need the clipboard at some point. I'm pretty sure.
Lots of law information all over that clipboard. And all the passwords I have to all my internet stuff too. So everybody's scrambling around right now. Good luck finding it. I can't even find a damn clipboard half the time. So, right. But you're bringing it back. Bringing the hate back. It's coming back. Yes. So do tell. Yeah,
very excited. I know we're in the space-time continuum.
Whoa. I don't want to talk to Ben Harley. Give me the Potentate.
Oh, the Potentate. Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me
go. Get him out.
Yes, sir, Timo Saban. It is I, the Potentate of Hate. I have returned from a long trip abroad. I ain't going to tell you where it was or what broad it was. But yes, sir, Timo, I am back. Yes. This Sunday, Timo, the 15th, right? 15th of July. I had to look at the calendar.
For sure.
My friend. Yes. Yeah, I'm about to make a lot of people's days very, very unhappy. Well, actually, first off, Norm Whaler, as I like to call him. I got him in my sights, my friend. He's not going to like it. But yes, bringing out the Circus of Pain. One Genghis the Clown and Pedo the Clown.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, the Ringmaster. His loss is my gain, Timo. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
He left these guys without a manager, and I'm just picking up the pieces, and I'm going to put together one great tag team.
All right.
Yeah. So, looking forward to
those clowns scared the Mangler away. That's for sure.
Oh, the Mangler. We need the Mangler back.
You guys do need the Mangler back. You need to get him up in there, man.
Yeah.
That guy.
I guess we even have we're going to have a couple creeps that are going to be leading my men into battle, too. Okay. So, yes, this will be fun. Like I said, yes, it's coming up, Timo. We're trying to keep it a little hush-hush.
Right.
I'm trying to keep it under my fez, I guess, until it's
right.
I know we're in the space-time continuum.
Yeah.
But it's been a 2-year hiatus, Timo.
Sure has.
2 long years. But I've dusted off the fez, and we're ready to go.
All right.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
No, buddy, I'm excited. I'm so thrilled. Tickled pink, my friend. And yes, I'm out to make some kids cry. Hopefully Norm Whaler, make him cry.
Right.
And just, I need to set some wrongs right, my friend. How about that?
That's right. So in Space-Time Continuum.
Hate is great.
Space-Time Continuum, this was last night. So you are now officially, and it should be public at this point.
Yes.
You did your big surprise. I'm back. You did the Ric Flair. He just comes out of nowhere sometimes and dances and styles and romances and throws money everywhere and does whatever he does.
Glad hands, just to give the people what they want, Tim. And that's really what I'm there for, is just to give the people what they want.
A good beating?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well,
and I can't give out too much because I really don't know a whole lot quite yet either.
Right. I'm not really.
It's all new. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations! You're back in the circuit.
Very excited. Yeah, very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun, buddy. And like I said, we'll talk a little bit more, and I'll let you in a little bit more on my game plan once I meet with my generals.
There you go. There you go. Nice.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you, buddy. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've been working out some Willow Creek crud.
Yeah.
Check this out. You hear that?
Yeah.
That's Willow Creek in my lungs right now. So apparently, remember I told you there was no air conditioning and at night you open the windows?
Right.
I forgot from my childhood that is a certain recipe for I don't know, walking pneumonia, things like that, so yeah. So I've been kind of clearing that out to hope I hope the bookstore guy is still listening to the show, so he knows I left, so he can reopen.
Get back to business as usual.
I was going to buy stuff. I was going to buy stuff there too. It's like, I'm not just going to look, I'm going to walk in there. I'm going to go, there you are. And then I'm going to start talking to you. I'm going to buy something. You know what I mean? Right. You lost probably a power bill because at least. Yeah. Over just, us teasing you. Get over yourselves. I could have got a new, he could have got a new cap, a new Kango or whatever the hell he wears. Right. I mean, listen, if we tease you, just get over it. We're just teasing, relax. Let me do my Aaron Rodgers, my Aaron RELAX, relax. It's a long season. Yeah. Relax.
Yep.
Love
can't win a
Aaron
game
Rodgers.
in one play, Timo.
That's right. You can if it's the last one. But we're just going to leave that there and walk away. So, so that's and we're back to hot. We had one nice day, didn't we? Or like 2 nice days, didn't we? At least we did here. And from what I could tell, you did too around the same time over this past weekend. The 4th
got a little bit of that humidity out of here, my friend.
Oh my God, for a day or two, we're back in it now. We're back in it. So according to my weather app, which is always accurate and always correct, it's going to be in the 90s and steamy around here for quite a while.
Now the hate is really returned.
The hate is back.
God, I hate it.
Ben Hurley, check this out.
I hate it.
Check this out. This is what I did when our humidity went down, all right? I bought myself a couple little bitty baby tiki torches, like 4 foot tall. They're little babies. If you walk, if you don't watch yourself, you might hurt yourself in a bad spot. Only about 4 feet tall or something like that. So, and I actually pulled the television out of the sunroom and put it out on the back patio and watched me some Svengoolie in one of our official films.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
How'd that go? Good?
Not too bad. The mosquitoes wanted me to watch something else, apparently. So I'm not sure. They were too...
They had you hopping around.
They weren't too happy. Wasn't as bad as those California mosquitoes, though. I think I caught a cold from one of those. To be honest
those things are as big as buzzards, aren't they?
Oh, my God. They weren't big. They were just angry. Cranky.
Cranky buzzards.
And they would party around you, man. I mean, they are social animals out there. There was like 50 of them hanging out, high-fiving, hooting and hollering. Like that. Like, oh, my God. Jeez. So, but, reacclimating myself. Ben Harley, pretty soon I'm going back to another squatchy area. I don't think you even knew this. Going to the Ozarks in Missouri. I'm going to go hunt the wood booger. I'm going to go hunt the wood booger.
Ooh, the wood booger.
Yeah. He's out there in Missouri.
Yeah, he is now. Is that anywhere near the Midnight Whistler?
I don't think so. Midnight Whistler, I think, is in Huckleberry's yard still. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's in Huckleberry's yard. But I'm going to Big Cedar Lodge, which is owned by the guy that started Bass Pro Shop. So he does things big. Oh,
nice.
Real big.
Yeah.
He's like a hero in Missouri,
I bet.
It's amazing the culture divide. I live in Illinois, and then there's Missouri. Yeah. If you want to get elected to office, you call it Missouri over there. It's been tried and true for as long as I've been alive. So we're going to hit over there and we're going to check out those mosquitoes and see if I can catch myself a squatch over in that area over there. Good. But so
that'll be exciting, buddy. Nice.
Yeah, not too bad. We went a couple years ago. It wasn't too bad. It actually gave me the idea for that pepper popcorn that I gave you.
Oh,
you
yeah.
were here. So I've been munching on that this weekend still. Made some. Yep.
That's good.
So things have been going, and you're back to wrestling, so that's fun. I got a couple of shows coming up. One I can talk about, The Exploited. I don't know what day it is. I can't remember, but it's coming up here in a couple of months or a month or two.
That's right.
Yeah, it's Fubar with playing with Ultraman. That's when doing that. And Fragile Porcelain Mice does have a gig. I can't talk about it yet. I can't talk about it. And when I do talk about it, people will know why I couldn't talk about it. Not mine to talk about. It's not
yours to talk about right now.
No, it's not up to me. It's not. I mean, we're gonna let the powers that be announce this show, and then
this gym. Okay.
Yes, I do guarantee it will sell out wherever it is. It will sell out. So that's going to be later in the year too. I can give you that hint. It's not going to be while it's warm outside. Well, hell, you never know these days, but
you never know.
It's not going to be when it's supposed to be warm outside. We'll put it that way. So yeah. It is St. Louis, so it's partly cloudy with a slight chance of protests. So we'll see what happens. Let me run through a few things I watched, Mr. Ben Harley. Not a whole lot, but a couple things I think you'll find very fascinating. You'll want to talk about a couple of them, I'm sure. Okay. So I'm going to start off here with from 1997, and Joe and I watched Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak. Now, is that the lava one?
It's a lava. Yeah, it's a volcano. Yeah. It's Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton versus a volcano.
I got my money. I've seen most of it, I think.
Yeah. It's okay. All I know is I turned around to Angio, like right about 3/4 away from the movie when they were driving a Jeep through lava.
Jeeps who drives through.
Yeah, I mean Toledo. Are you kidding me? So I looked over at Angio and just went, "This is a fucking silly movie." And she just started laughing, and we watched the rest of it. That's about all I said in the whole thing. Yeah. So this is a silly movie, but it's not as silly as Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones in it. That when the volcano erupts in L.A. Yeah. At least this one takes place like in I don't know where it actually is. It looked a whole lot like where I just was.
Yeah,
Willow Creek. So almost everything I'm watching now looks like that because most of it was shot there. I was in California, so a couple movies been shot there over the years. Ben Harley, especially westerns. I found this out.
Yeah. Lots of westerns.
So anyway, had a little bit of fun.
The documentary on Detroit was shot there too because there's some mountains over there. So,
right. So I had a little bit of fun watching that. So Dante's Peak. I picked up a couple of let's just say I don't want to say cheesy, but kind of silly Blu-rays. The Dante's Peak was a double feature with Daylight with Sylvester Stallone in it. Picked me up that, and I got Backdraft. And what else did I get? I got another one.
Backdraft's a good movie. I haven't seen that in a while, but I thought it was good when it was. It had its moments.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a bit either. I got something else too. I can't really remember. It'll dawn on me. It doesn't really matter. Nobody cares. It's not. You've got it, not me. What the hell do I care? So
right.
Also on Amazon Prime, something you might like a lot. You might not. I don't know. It's a movie called I'm Now: The Story of Mudhoney. I loved Mudhoney's first full-length record. I absolutely loved it, and I was not into much of what they did after that. But they hit their peak around the same time Fragile Porcelain Mice was. So their language, what they went through, the clubs they played at was almost like a homecoming for me in a way. And it was actually very funny because these guys were my kind of people. Let's just put it that way.
Did you ever play with them? Did you guys play with them?
No, I don't think we ever did. I thought about that. I was like, no, I think I'd remember playing with Mudhoney. We didn't do that. But it's kind of cool because it goes back and forth how they kind of saved Sub Pop Records and then left Sub Pop and came back. And, that's kind of cool. And then just some of the stuff like Mark Arm, their singer, like they talked about how he got messed up with drugs and stuff. He's like, okay, look, every time I see these things, the music kind of gets slow. And in the background, they have music get slow. And he goes, and the guy starts talking about his dependency on drugs and stuff. He goes, you know what? What a cliche. What a cliche. He's like, I had some problems. I got over it. He goes, you want to know what? He's like, it's funny too. He goes, because I was in bands with other guys that had problems and people are like, doesn't that bother you? He goes, no, it helps me. I look at this guy going, I'm glad I'm not that anymore.
I'm not that.
And they're really nonchalant about it. And then they ask his guitar player, like, he goes, there was people coming up to me going, you should really do an intervention. You should really help Mark out. He's like, what? Look, people do drugs because they're fun. If he wants to get fucked up, that's his problem, not mine. That's his business. It's not mine. However you choose to get messed up. I mean, just stuff like that. I just thought it was honest, open, and funny. And man, their old bass player, boy, is he a trip. He's one of he's one of these good old boys, man. I mean, a good old boy.
Good old boy.
Like the kind of guy like you kind of try to get away from at shows and stuff like that. Yeah, but I loved him. He was great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not too bad though. I really enjoyed it. It's called I Am Now the Story of Mudhoney. Went back from 1997, Mr. Ben Harley, watched Event Horizon.
Okay.
With Lawrence Fishburne, Kathleen Quinlan, Sam Neill, the spooky spaceship movie. This movie, from day one to now I've seen it, I got the same reaction to it. It starts great and goes downhill consistently through the entire film. Yeah. Until the end, it's a blithering mess of what the hell.
What was that?
They almost had an amazing Alien ripoff going on there. And then they they swerved it into like spooky mental brain nonsense. And I want monsters. They would have had Aliens and Monsters. That would have been a classic. Absolutely.
You'd have been happy, yeah.
From 1980, Mr. Ben Harley, and Joe and I watched The Fog.
No, did you?
We did watch The Fog. Yep. So went back and looked at that. It still holds up. Great. I did complain because even Carpenter kind of poops on the movie a little bit. And
he does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is not his favorite thing, at all. I mean, so they all they don't apologize for it, but they're all kind of like, yeah, it's not Halloween. It's not the same kind of movie. But I think it's excellent.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that one.
Really?
But I have a hard time with The Fog. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of The Fog, but it's okay.
Really? Why not? I don't. Yeah. I want to know this though because I don't understand.
Well, you're gonna. Well, not that you'll be surprised, but it's just slow for me. It's real slow.
So it's Halloween.
And but the tension's much tighter in Halloween. And I like Michael Myers much more. And the thing is, that movie has everything going for it. For me, it's got pirates and ghost pirates and ships and fog and
Rob Bottin is a ghost pirate.
Yeah, hooks and stuff and hands. Where hands used to be. I think you were upset with me when we reviewed it.
Okay. I really like the movie.
I know. Yeah, that's one of your faves. Yeah.
I don't understand why it's not more than what it is. I think as far as a ghost movie goes, it's probably the only ghost where I'm like, yeah, that ghost will fucking kill you.
Oh yeah.
Like most of the time, it's like the ghost is going to float over your head or something, and spook you, or make you jump off a ledge or something. Screw that.
It's going to make a goofy face.
Yeah. So last up, Mr. Ben Harley. I know you're going to want to talk about this for a minute. This is for my pal Ben Harley. This was because this was a gift to Ben Harley because he's transformed into the potentate again.
That's right.
I did watch the entire movie of Paint Your Wagon.
No, you did not.
I did too. From 1969. Yeah.
Not a boy.
Will be the last time I watch Paint Your Wagon. Did not like. Okay, here's the thing. I found out some stuff about the movie. I'm going to run through it real quick here because I think you'd like to hear this stuff. Okay, so Clint Eastwood as a guy. He's playing a guy from Michigan. Partner. Yeah, Pardoner. Yeah.
Partner. Yeah.
Although he does say his name was Sylvester Newell.
That's right, yeah.
He does say that. Yeah. I did find a very odd moment in the film that we replicated in Stalking Bigfoot.
Okay, yeah.
When he goes, I like you, partner. I like you too, Ben. I go, I had never seen that before. And that was an odd moment in Stalking Bigfoot. It was an odd moment when we filmed it, to be honest with you. I creeped myself out doing that. So apparently Clint Eastwood, after this film, formed his Malpaso Pictures because he decided he had learned how to not make a movie.
Really?
Yeah. Through the Lee Marvin's song "Wandering Star."
Oh, I'm sure it was a hard movie to make as far as like the weather.
It was a mess.
Nasty, gross.
It was a mess.
That movie's gritty.
Yeah, I ain't done yet. It was a mess. The movie was a mess. The producer was stepping all over the director. It was a mess.
I believe it.
He the Lee Marvin sings that song "Wandering Star." Number 1 in the UK and earned Lee Marvin a gold record.
It's a great song. It's a great part of the movie, I think.
That was probably the one I would listen to again. I did not like the music in this. I'm going to put that right out there.
Okay. It's okay. I know.
I don't like musicals. I'm
not much into them either. But
Well,
that's a good song.
The gal that you like in it, Jean Seberg. Her and Eastwood were doing it. on the set, and her husband found out about it and challenged Eastwood to a gun duel. He cleared out. Eastwood cleared out. He got scared and ran. So he ran with the tail between his legs.
I don't get shot. I don't want him to shoot Clint Eastwood either.
Yeah. And then, of course, Lee Marvin was using real liquor. And he was completely drunk through the entire shoot, which they tried to get him to use tea and stuff. He wouldn't do it.
One of my favorite parts, he wakes up and the girl's sitting there and they haven't seen a woman. She's breastfeeding. Mm-hmm. And he wakes up from a drunken stupor and then he walks out and just puts his hat on tight and falls right in the creek.
right.
Just to make you come back in and make sure he's seeing what he was seeing.
Right. I
want to be that drunk, Timo.
I do. There's moments that are okay in it, but I mean, honestly, that was way too long, and it became excruciating to me. I started playing on my phone and stuff.
Oh, sure.
But I did sit through it. I did watch it. I was I've never seen it. I've talked about this movie forever because it freaked me out when I saw it the first time. I had no idea it existed. Of course, I was like 20 or 19 at the time. I wasn't really into Westerns to begin with at the time. And but I got through it. I did get through it. I did watch it, and I can't tell you I liked it. But there were moments to it. It was interesting to look at. It's probably more interesting to read about the movie, how it's being made, and how it differed from the play, which it differs incredibly. I think the play, the only similarities were the title and a couple of songs. They rewrote the songs too. So, but I can't tell you I liked it, Ben Hurley, but I can tell you I did honestly watch it. I did sit down and watch it.
No, good. Like I said, I think I think it's a funnier movie than I remembered as a kid. It makes me laugh. I love Lee Marvin. I think he's fantastic. His name's Ben, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got, Ben Harley. Paint your wagon. That's it.
Paint your wagon. Good job, my friend. Yep. Oh, I love you. You got to see handsome Robert Easton.
I did see Robert Easton and Ray Walston. Yep. So I didn't know Ray Walston was in it too, and he jumped up out of nowhere. I'm like, "Ooh, there's a leprechaun in the movie." Oh, that's not a leprechaun. That's Ray Walston.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tim. Well, thanks for checking it out. It's fun. I think it's just a fun movie. I get a kick out of it. I think it's shot beautifully. Whether they got the direct, whatever they did, it was shot pretty damn well. But look what he had to work with.
Right.
A lot of good-looking people on film, especially Robert Easton. You had that to work with,
right?
And and a lot of good backdrops behind.
Yeah,
and a nice bustier. So never mind.
People who can't sing.
Yeah.
Eastwood. Eastwood can sing a little bit better than Lee Marvin. Of course, his vocal cords were certainly liquored up. So geez. Yeah. So Ben Rumsfeld. Rumsfeld. Yeah. So all right, Timo. I don't have a whole lot either, my friend. I have another bit of good news. I talked to a gentleman from the Rock Rebel, which I know Joel does shirts for. Joel Robinson does shirts for. I have my trusty Jaws wallet, which I get more compliments on than anything, from Rock Rebel. Well, this is a company that does like T-shirts and things like that, and they are at the conventions a lot for the audience.
Yeah, and I just signed a deal to do a Jaws pin, an enamel pin, of some of my artwork, Timo, a good picture of my Jaws artwork, nice. And very excited about this. I know before it had to go through a company owned by Universal and also a company owned by Spielberg. That guy, him.
I've heard of him. I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that made me happy, just that fact. But yes, we do making an enamel pin, which I know those are kind of popular now. Mm-hmm. And Timo, not only is it a cool little Jaws enamel pin with my artwork on it, but it will also glow in the dark.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
You can see me coming at you.
Yep. So you can't hide in the dark no more. So very excited about that. Awesome. I'll let some people know once more because I will also have some pins to unload on the masses.
Nice.
So I'm very excited about that, and hopefully that'll also be a step in the right direction to getting some of my artwork out there a little bit more. Hey, I love my T-shirts, and the T-shirts helped me get my artwork out originally, but hopefully this could be another stepping stone towards getting out there, and I don't have to print them.
Right.
I can just make the art. Right. And I don't have to make the pins. So that's a good thing. Timo, Tim, I've been watching a lot of stuff here, Toledo stories. Now, you really have to like your history, and you have to like PBS, and you have to like monotone speaking.
Did you say Toledo history?
Toledo stories, yes.
Toledo stories?
Yes, on our local PBS station here in town. I've been watching a lot of these lately. Some of them are pretty good. Some are a little sleepy, but, they're really good because, Toledo was known, we had the Toledo Art Museum. Toledo was known for, it used to be, we were the largest manufacturer of glass. That's why it was called the Glass City. We have Owens Corning here. We have, the Jeep, we got Jeep, all that stuff. So a lot of these stories revolve around stuff like that. I think I mentioned last show when we were talking about the men who built America, the frontiersmen. I actually went out to Sidecut Park where the Battle of Fallen Timbers, where they fought Tecumseh, or like you say down there, Tecumseh.
Right, yep.
Right? I don't want to start another Indian battle or another Native American war.
Right.
But Tecumseh, right? So, I also went out there again this week, and I guess it's funny. I was poking fun a little bit because now out there where the Battle of Fallen Timbers is now the shops at Fallen Timbers.
Okay.
So you might not find too many arrowheads in that area anymore. But I want to try to make it out to, they had the memorial there, and I did not know this, and Tim, I've been getting on Google Earth here and there. I actually checked out Willow Creek and Bluff Creek and the different
far,
places, over
there.
Yeah,
it's a little ways from there. Yeah.
I was trying to peek through some windows, but it's a little hard, but I'm trying. I'm still trying.
Right.
But so I got on Google Earth yesterday to look at some of the stuff for Fallen Timbers, and I didn't know there's this patch of woods there, and there says there's a fort. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to go over there and look, but it's funny. I've been passing this area I do every Friday too. Like, had no idea that's where the battlefield actually was, or that's where the fort was at this spot of Fallen Timbers, because across the river we have Fort Meigs, and Fort Meigs was real instrumental in us repelling the English. Them English dogs, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
shove them crumpets right in the face.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, but, it's been, I don't know, for some reason, been really interesting to me lately. I'll try to speak on it some more, maybe take some photos and stuff, but very instrumental in not only our independence, but our keeping our independence, too, because a lot of... The Battle of 1812 was not one that people talk about a whole lot, but that was basically us defending our independence, basically, Timo. So
well, that was that war. Like, they did nothing really. It was
the British
a weird war, because it was with Canada, and we were trying to move the borders and stuff. But at the end of the war, everybody claimed victory, and nothing really happened.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like the British employed the Native Americans, and actually this area, the Ohio Valley, Bigfoot probably had to be on his toes back then too, because being in the Ohio Valley, they controlled most of that area where I'm at now, all the way down and stuff for quite some time. So that's a lot of because right there with Windsor and, the mountains of Detroit.
Right.
That's the gateway, basically, from there to Middle America, basically.
Right.
So,
well, there's a really fascinating documentary on Prime about the War of 1812, also that I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of that.
Title.
Yeah, it was really disappointing though. They didn't talk about Mad Anthony Wayne, which made me a little upset because he had a big part in that. That's Anthony Wayne Trail, which runs right up and down here. It runs right past the battlefield. That's named after him. He has a big part in the history of that stuff too. So it's something for another day, buddy. So yes, but the Toledo story has been pretty good. I've been following because I like to talk about the mighty Maumee here, Timo.
Oh yeah,
our river, and I actually watched the Toledo story where they actually followed it. And I've often thought of not that I'm going to do it or not, but it's not. It's a big river, okay? It's not the Mississippi. It's right. At times it's as big as but it's. It goes from here to like Fort Wayne, but it had one of these the Toledo stories where they followed it it took them like 4 days to canoe, from there or whatever, which was kind of neat, and they also went through some of the history of this area, which has a plethora, Timo, of history, which is kind of neat. And I do like learning about that. Now, on the other side of the history, not the good side either, the Toledo history has a lot of, and I had a book that we bought for my parents many years ago. It was called Unholy Toledo, which is based on the mob ties. And I've often, I think, talked to you about how Toledo was just central to Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, you know what I mean? And I think you probably have heard about, Al Capone, and Chicago has some mob ties.
Oh, yeah.
So did Detroit, Cleveland. So Toledo, there was a meeting area for a lot of the mob. But I watched a nice Toledo stories with our man, Jamie Farr. Klinger, Corporal Klinger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he talked about a lot of that. And some of it I knew about, some of it I knew about from my grandma. I mean, we'd go down to the spaghetti warehouse, my grandma would point out, well, there was a speakeasy here, and then there was a speakeasy over here.
That was my favorite one over there.
Yeah,
they put olives in the drinks.
Yeah, she was grew up in the Roaring 20s. You know what I mean?
Right.
But really crazy. So basically, the long and short of it was there was the Purple Gang, and the Purple Gang was from Detroit, and it was like 4 guys that came from St. Louis.
Oh,
jeez, yeah, grew up kind of in St. Louis, and then they left, came up to Detroit, got in a little bit of trouble, ended up in a Windsor prison for a couple of years. When they came back to Detroit, they were asked nicely. I'm sure it was a nice ask, nice meeting. They were asked nicely to leave Detroit. The police basically asked them, I think. So they set up shop in Toledo, and then it went through Jack Kennedy, not the Jack Kennedy. I'm sure this guy probably had dealings with the Kennedys.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this guy, Jack Kennedy from Toledo, was a rum runner, just like the other Jack Kennedy.
Right.
But he so when they came in, the Purple Gang came in, they kind of started messing up. They first went after the rum runners and the bootleggers to try to shake them down. But this guy didn't like to be shaken down a whole lot. And he actually confronted some of the mobsters out in the street and put the beating on one of them. They just put the beating to this guy. But then after that, they finally tracked him down, and they think the girl that this Jack Kennedy was with might have been in on it and had him shot basically in the street, So, but yeah, there was a real interesting one on that, So I've been kind of catching up on my Toledo stuff here and there. They've been really nice documentaries. The last but not least, Timo, sticking with the mob theme,
Yeah.
Because I'm the potentate's coming back, so I got to get some
practicing.
Pointers.
Yeah.
Practicing. You know what I mean?
Getting in the frame of mind. Frame of mind.
Right. So I know I'm a little behind, only about 18 years behind, but I finally started watching a little show called The Sopranos. Have you ever heard of that show?
Yep.
Little bitty show. Mm-hmm. I think it did a couple things. Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Took on a couple Emmys, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. But I started watching that actually. Wendy and I have been watching that. I'm about 5 episodes in. I actually kind of like it. It's got a little more comedy to it too, which I find kind of good. It's not as gross, either. I don't want to see guys getting their winky pulled off, or anything. You know what I mean? So
why?
Whatever you want, whatever you think a winky is, you can think it, but I don't want to see it pulled off.
Right.
But yeah, actually not too bad. I've actually kind of enjoyed it. I said a couple episodes in. It's in Jersey,
right?
And I have a love for Jersey, mostly for the New Jersey Devil and the Jersey Devils,
right?
The team, but hey, and I like a big hairdo on a pretty girl as much as the next guy too. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just scared of some of them girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. You kidding me?
So actually I've been enjoying that. So something a little bit new. Have been watching a little bit more wrestling, trying to New Japan Wrestling and Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Are you not stealing and finishing maneuvers from people, are you now?
No. I'm not going to be too close to getting finished or giving finishers.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'm going to let my guys do that.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. So, but yeah, I got a few tricks up my sleeve, Tim.
I know you do.
A few tricks up my sleeve.
I know you do. Got a couple arms up there, too.
I might be bringing the claw back for all you know.
Oh, Jesus, the claw. The iron claw. Yeah.
Put it on the temples, brother. You never know what hit you.
I know. Yeah, I think when The Sopranos came out, I think I watched the first episode. It was like, man, that was really good. Never watched it again.
Yeah, the first one I was like kind of, I don't know. It was kind of weird, the first one. I didn't really expect it. What I got, which wasn't bad at all. I didn't expect like the humor, which I thought was okay. I thought that was kind of neat, or neato.
Right.
But,
I think that's right. That was kind of right when the cable stations were starting their own television series and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably right at the time that I quit watching television series.
I had no idea it was as old. I got to start old. Like when I think of like the age of something or whatever, I just need to double it and add a couple years. Absolutely.
Isn't it crazy? I mean,
I'm awful. Anyway, awful.
Oh yeah, what was it? Let's see, The Fog was in 1980, so it's almost 40 years old.
Yeah,
I mean that's just nuts.
It blows your mind.
It does blow your mind, yeah. And The Sopranos the same way, and that's what I'm saying. I think that was right when I was tapping out on TV series. You got to understand, there were so many of them that started popping up.
Oh my god,
it was over for me. I was like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. It's too much. I don't even know what to look at. I don't know what to watch. I don't know. I'm too big of a movie snob. It's like I can't do this anymore.
It's too much.
Yeah, but I did watch it and recognize how good it was. I was like, man, this is really good. But I really only watched the first episode, I think. Yeah, because I think I had HBO at the same time. At that time, I had it and I watched it. I was like, oh, that's really good. And then that was it. I didn't. Yeah. I just knew it wasn't going to end. So the hell with it. I was like, but it's interesting though. Is that's on Prime? Is it on Prime?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
So, right now. So.
Well,
good. I've enjoyed it actually. That's all I got, my friend.
All right.
That's all I got.
Let's get to our official little films, Mr. Ben Harley.
Sure.
I guess we'll go in chronological order.
Okay.
Let's see here from 1972. Right. I wasn't made
Not
yet.
Bad. Almost. You were cooking.
I was cooking. You're right.
Yeah.
I was being formulated. Let's put it that way at that point. We had the TV movie, actually September 26, 1972, Moon of the Wolf.
Moon of the Wolf.
Yeah. Let me give you a short little storyline here.
Werewolves like the moon, don't they?
They sure do, apparently. So, it's got a movie guy. It's a quick little storyline. Here we go.
All right.
After several locals are viciously murdered, a Louisiana sheriff starts to suspect they may be dealing with the werewolf. Right. Okay. So
possible.
Right. So David Jansen from The Fugitive. He's a sheriff cop guy, and he's got him and Barbara Rush from It Came from Outer Space and When Worlds Collide.
Yeah.
Are kind of trying to track down the Lugaroo, which we know. Yeah, I've heard it as Rougarou and Lugaroo. I don't know.
Yeah, they were saying Lugaroo. Weren't they in it?
Well, that's supposedly French, I guess, for werewolf.
Yeah, French.
Yeah, who knows? This is made for TV. Who knows what the hell? Anyway, so this thing has got a pretty interesting cast in it. So basically, there's not much to it. They really try to put some kind of like family gothic type of story going on. It's real hard to follow. Angie, he was even like, why were those first people killed? I'm like, I don't know, Angie. I go, they were in the way of the werewolf. I don't know. I don't watch it for these reasons. It's just the whole point is who is the werewolf? Why? It's almost like who cares? Like when we watch this movie in a way. But it is a mystery in that I don't want to say it's like Silver Bullet, but it's got
that feel.
Somebody saw Silver Bullet. Or I'm sorry, somebody saw Moon and the Wolf. That was involved with Silver Bullet. That way. It's kind of similar to it. We've got, let's see here, the John Berdino guy. He was from General Hospital. He was a doctor in the movie. And then old Bradford Dillman. Dillman. He's okay. Now what's funny about Bradford Dillman is in the movie they think the killer they're thinking it's an animal or something vicious, but it's left-handed.
Pack of dogs.
Yes,
left-handed.
Left-handed. Old Bradford Dillman.
I'd have been in trouble.
You sure would have. You and Danny Hicks. I would have been running around going,
do it.
But Bradford Dillman happens to be ambidextrous, which I was like, I rolled my eyes at that. I was like, oh god. But his name is Andrew Rodan. I was ready for him to sprout wings and I think it's actually Rodanth, but I was not hearing the TH sound. We've got Jeffrey Lewis, who we like.
Yes, very much.
And one of your favorite guys, Royal Dano. My man. Yeah. So I'm going to let you take this. This is a public domain film at this point, based off of a novel. My initial reaction is it's not a bad little yarn, but it's a little light on the creature action. but they don't cheat.
Yeah.
They don't cheat.
No.
So they're not going to, we can tell you this. You're not going to go into this and go, oh man, it ain't a werewolf. Right. You might say, oh man, that's the werewolf. But you're not going to say it's not a werewolf. So what did you think, Mr. Ben Harley, of Moon of the Wolf?
Well, it's my first trip down this lane. So, and I like me a good werewolf film as much as the next guy, but we do have our issues. I was hoping that someday they could take all them crappy zombie movies and vampire movies and take them to the recycling center and crush them all down,
right?
Recycle them and make me two more good werewolf movies, and I'd be the happiest guy to the day I die.
Right.
But it's not going to happen. So we get Moon of the Wolf.
Right.
Now, you know what? Not a bad movie, but I will say, like you're saying, it's public domain. This, and it's on Prime, it's awful transfer.
Yeah.
Awful.
VHS, videotape. Looks
bad.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get any better. And I was like, it made me a little sad, but whatever. It is what it is, And so, going into the movie, I didn't have real high expectations, but once again, the cover art, I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I like that, And that's where it ended as far as thinking, man, it's going to be really cool. But it's not that I didn't like it though. I found most of it pretty good. I liked a lot of the actors are in it. It just, it fell short with the werewolf. Now, in fairness to the werewolf, like how janky it looked, they could have put more werewolf in it. You just don't have to show it so much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which they were doing. They were wisely keeping the werewolf obscured via non-focus and things like that, and just coming to speed and editing and stuff. So they were doing that pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
Now there was, I'm not the super smartest guy, and sometimes these movies get me. They throw the red herring out there or whatever, but this one, when Jeffrey Lewis's character gets attacked in the jail cell and eaten, you don't know if it's a person or whatever it is yet, rips the bars off of the jail cell. So at this point, I'm kind of leaning towards it's a werewolf.
Right.
Because you have to be pretty strong to do something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I'm going with it. I just think there was a little bit of too much in between. Like there's a parts at the end where I won't get too much into it, but I'm like, wow, that's a lot of in between stage patter, like running around out in the dark and just not a lot going on. And this is not a long movie, is it?
No, it's
a pretty short movie already.
Hour and 15 minutes. Yeah.
I don't know. As far as werewolf movies go, Tim, there's a lot worse. A lot.
Oh yeah.
Worse.
Yeah. Worse with a lot more werewolf in it.
Yeah,
by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So, I feel you on the silver bullet thing. It had a dreamy like quality, which I think a lot of werewolf movies do, which I'm cool with.
Right.
But not my favorite. Not my favorite, but not my least favorite either. Not I can't say it was god awful by any means. It had its moments. I think, like you're saying, if it had a little bit more werewolf added in there, just a couple scenes. Not even 5 minutes worth. 3 minutes worth. It would have helped this movie a lot.
This kind of reminds me, I think we were talking about it briefly, but it reminds me, oddly enough, of that movie. What was it? The Curse of the Black Widow, that made for TV movie that we had reviewed, where it was basically a woman given glowing googly eyes for a while. And you thought for sure this is going to be just a stupid witch or something. Yeah. And she ended up turning into a big spider. Yep. Which I'm like, oh,
there it is.
I'm in, because you're just waiting for these things to cheat. You really are. And I mean, remember, this was a 1972 ABC movie of the week, and the werewolf itself was definitely a Jack Pierce, Lon Chaney inspired makeup job, where they're using a lot of the actor who is the werewolf. I guess we don't want to give it away, for people to watch it.
Some sideburns.
Yeah, and some teeth.
Paint his nose brown.
Yeah, the nose thing always gets me. The nose thing takes. It looks like a clown to me, and it's kind of what I don't like about Jack Pierce's either. It's like, man, would you quit doing the nose thing? It looks silly.
Yeah.
It looks funny.
Yeah, I am not a fan of the nose.
And it's not easy to make a good werewolf anyway. But I do like, and I don't think there's enough of them, but I do like werewolf mystery movies. There was even a Howling sequel at a castle where it was a werewolf mystery. I just saw that.
I tried to come across it, and I was like, I'm out. I just saw that the other day.
Yeah. It's not, no, believe me, it's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. But what it does is at least gives you a story. It at least gives you something to chew on. And this movie definitely, it does that. The other thing too is, now dig back in your memory banks, okay? Sure. You remember Zap Rasdower and The Final Sacrifice, right?
Yes, sir.
Remember the old hermit guy they come across with the frizzy, like, Gene Wilder hair? And he talked like this the whole time. My God, he sounded just like David Jansen.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, exactly. Like, if you close your eyes, it was freaking me out, to be honest with you. I don't know if Angie was following me on it, but I was like, that's the same guy. It's the exact same guy. It sounds like him. The voice was exactly the same. It was funny as hell. But that's a little side note. I thought that was hilarious. But I do like a werewolf mystery. I mean, and even the bad ones are like, oh, at least we've got that going on. You know, it's just one of those movies that it's like a mild curiosity kind of movie because it's really not that bad. I mean, it wasn't made terribly. I mean, given it was 1972, the makeup's okay.
Made for TV.
Yeah, too, made for TV. I mean, Spider wasn't really like that frightening either in the Curse of the Black Widow movie, which I'm comparing it to for some odd reason. But I don't know. I mean, I bet I've seen this movie half dozen times.
Okay,
it's easy to watch. It's short. For sure. It's public domain. It's around a lot. It's one of the better public domain, I think movies that are out there. I mean, how many times can you watch an old Bela Lugosi crime thriller that's disguised as a horror film? It's like you can't do it. I mean, and this thing, like I said, it doesn't cheat. The story is not super coherent. Again, Angio kept asking me. She's so concerned about the people in the beginning. I'm like, I don't know. What matters is who the werewolf is. Yeah, that's what really, that's what really matters. But I mean, give her credit. She was paying attention, so she was
trying, man.
She was in it. But
in it to win it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna give it a mild Great Ape Up. Just real mild because it didn't hurt me. It wasn't bad. It didn't take too much of my time. I keep going back to it and I keep thinking, I think sometimes if I want to see something short, breezy, I always know that's one of the movies that ain't going to hurt me.
Right. There you
go. If I can stop it and not even come back to it, I know the movie, I know who the werewolf is, and stuff. So it's like, it's just kind of fun to watch and to see all these actors doing things a couple years before the things we love that they did, basically. What do you think, Ben Harley?
I'm probably just gonna same thing. Mild Great Ape Up. I didn't hate it. I like the effort, and I said I like a werewolf movie, and it was good to see. I haven't seen one in a while. Actually, I looked on Prime, while watching this, and found a couple other ones. I'm gonna try to give a look-see at.
All right, so two mild Great Apes up. Let's get to our next official film, Mr. Ben Harley, from 1993. Little older than most, or a little newer, I should say, than most of the stuff we review, I guess, here. It's Man's Best Friend.
Yes, Man's Best Friend.
Man's Best Friend, 1993. Let me give you a short storyline on this one, too.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. A dog turns from man's best friend into man's worst nightmare. No, wait a minute. As he attacks everything that moves, that's exactly, listen to this. This is IMDb. All right.
Yeah.
A dog turns from a man's best friend into a man's worst nightmare as he attacks everything that moves. No, that's not even close.
No,
that's even remote. This dog is a research thing, and they're at a research facility. Lance Henriksen runs it. Basically, this is a commercial for PETA from 1993. So anyone experimenting on animals is evil, insane, and unhinged. So, of course, the dog is some kind of massive, destructive machine that if it doesn't have its medicine, it's going to go crazy and kill everybody. It escapes from the research facility because Ali Sheedy is a reporter. She goes in there to do a story on animal testing. And so she kind of befriends the dog, Max.
Yes.
And Lance Henriksen is out trying to find Max. before he loses
he comes unhinged.
Yeah, before he comes, and somehow they swerve Lance into being a mustachio twirling villain by the end of the movie, because he's not like that. The first part of the movie, I think somebody was watching dailies going, the corporation guy is way not evil enough. Evil enough. He actually cares about other humans. We can't have that.
No, can we turn up the sicko factor?
Right. It's directed by John LaFia, who was a writer of Child's Play. Oh, wow. Not. And let's see, we got Robert Costanzo in it, who was the portly cop. Who's in everything. And then we have John Cassini, the baby cop, who he's in everything else. He's in everything else. Right. Of course, then we have the dog Max, who is a Tibetan Mastiff. That's what that dog is. Yeah. So, and he was bioengineered with basically everything that was on Noah's Ark, apparently. It's got everything on it. So now I know both of us had seen this before. Yes. And I do. Yeah. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that neither one of us had seen this for quite a while. Yes. I hadn't seen it for, 20 years maybe or something like that. So coming back to Mr. Ben Harley, what did you think?
Yeah, Timo, I can't remember. I do believe I saw this in the theater. I really do. And I think it's the only time I've seen it as well. It was nice to go back and revisit this. I was pleasantly surprised, believe it or not. I had real low expectations. And that's why I haven't ever watched this again, went in with real low expectations and actually was pleasantly surprised, to tell you the truth. I like the movie Cujo. I do. I like, the pack, stuff like that, growing up movies. Dogs scare me, especially crazy foaming at the mouth dogs drive me crazy.
Right.
And I completely forgot about the whole storyline of this film, everything.
Right.
I was thinking Lance Henriksen was a cop in this, and I just completely forgot the whole storyline. So that was nice too. You know what I mean? So, we've watched a lot of movies over the years, Timo. Not just you and I together, but
absolutely.
Things start to blend together.
Sure.
But so I liked it. I don't mind Ali Sheedy. She's okay. She's all right in this. I love Lance Henriksen.
He's great.
Love him. You know, and I think he added a lot of weight to the film. I would have liked a little more of him in it.
Yeah,
but that's okay too. I liked the storyline of the dog slowly coming unhinged too. I did like that. I also liked that they didn't really, he did commit a couple crimes or killings and you didn't know about it at first. I thought that was good. He the purse snatcher, he killed the purse snatcher. You didn't find that out till 20 minutes later or something. Right. So a lot of that, I thought it was a good build up. The ending, I don't know so much about that, but I thought this movie actually held up pretty good. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I went in with such low expectations that I was met with much higher ones. I don't know, Tim. Right. I'm not sure why I liked this so much. I mean, I can't say, oh my God, it's something I'm going to watch all the time anymore. I'm going to recommend it, but I might revisit it, in a couple years or something, but I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, to me it's a cross between Watchers and Cujo.
Yeah.
Now Watchers, we talked about Watchers. We need to get back to Watchers somehow because I keep bringing up the movie Watchers, but with the Corey Haim movie with the super intelligent dog and the monsters after the dog.
Yeah.
But it is kind of a cross between the two of them. For me, this movie's about the same. As I saw it before, it's kind of laughable. Like when when the dog's climbing up the tree with his panther claws to eat the kitty.
It didn't need that part, the cat part where it ate the cat. I didn't like that. I thought that was dumb. I'm totally on board with you on that.
I remembered that.
It could have shredded the cat. I would have been more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it looked dumb, and I'm like, is it gonna poop out a whole carcass of skeleton.
I remember, I think the first time I watched it, had roommates, and there was a bunch of guys sitting around watching it, and everybody was kind of watching it. And then as soon as that part came on, everybody busted up laughing. Half the guys left the room, come on, and even though they were explaining to you that's what this dog was, you're just like, crying out loud. At least Hendrickson makes a coherent argument for what he's doing, which is they allow that, which is cool. But I don't know. That's what makes it odd about how he just warps into some super evil villain. At some point, which I did not like that. That I thought was over the top. Mm-hmm. The dog was spooky enough. I think it would have been better if he would have been got less unhinged himself. He almost gets unhinged along with the dog, and they might have tried to do it that way. But it got past me. I just happened to notice it was a coincidence,
Sure, yeah.
It's your basic mid-90s popcorn thriller.
Oh, yeah.
It's very silly, idealistic.
Yep.
About the dog, and it's like that's not what's going to happen in real life,
No.
And it's an over the top ending, super melodramatic ending. Like, oh, come on, makes you care about the shark, right? I mean, in a way. Yeah. And the whole thing with the collie. Oh, he's got a budding romance with the collie. Max does. Yeah,
that was a little something else.
Yeah. It's a silly movie.
Yeah.
It's really trying hard to be entertaining. My problem with it is that it's trying to be entertaining in whichever way it decides to be at that moment in the movie. Is basically what I'm saying. It just doesn't focus in on anything. I don't know. It's for me. I was a little indifferent about it when I saw it the first time. I rolled my eyes at it. It was like, I've seen worse. The cast is okay. They made a movie I watched it to the end. I like the other dog movies better. I like The Pack a lot better. I like Cujo a lot better. I like Watchers a whole lot. I always liked that movie. I even like Bad Moon a whole lot, which has a smart dog in it, But this one was kind of, for me, this movie is a resounding, I don't know. I will say one thing though, it hasn't budged much as far as what I think about it. I mean, so as far as it holding up, I would say if you enjoyed this movie then, you'd probably still enjoy it now. If you hated it then, you ain't gonna like it anymore now. Even if you've become smoking friends with Lance Henriksen outside conventions,
that's right.
It doesn't matter. It's still not going to do that much for you. Especially knowing Lance, he's kind of like so opposite of his real. Of who he really cares a lot about animals and stuff, which is the first things he started talking to me about. But anyway, so it's just a and if you thought it was back then, you're gonna think it's now, like me. Personally, right. I think you might had a little bit of a better reaction, but maybe it's because it held up okay. For you. I don't think it's worse or better.
I don't know. Like I said, I forgot so much about it.
Well, right.
So, but it was okay. I'm going to give it just a mild grade up. I've seen much worse canine films. For sure.
Yeah, dogs.
So,
dogs.
Yeah. Oh God. Awful.
David McCallum. Awful. What are you doing?
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you hate us? Yeah.
I know the poodles don't scare me. So you're gonna give it a mild grade pape up. Yeah. I'm on the fence. I'm like, I could really kind of do without it. It's okay. It's all right. Will I watch it again? Maybe a long time from now, because it was a long time since I've seen it before. It's, I don't know. It just gives me a weird kind of saccharine kind of taste in my mouth about it a little bit. And some of the dog stuff was like, you don't need to do that. No. You don't need, here's the thing too. It has all these kinds of superpowers because it has everything on Noah's Ark. It's got iguana skills where it can blend in. It's got the panther claws where it only does like one or two like supernatural things. If that was me, man, I'd be using that shit up and down Broadway and killing cats.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
I really would. But no such luck in the budget. I guess. Yeah.
No.
So I'm gonna. You're gonna give it a mild Grape Ape up. I think we both like mild Grape Apes up for Moon of the Wolf. I liked Moon of the Wolf a lot better. I don't think it's a better movie.
Right.
I just liked it a little bit more. I thought it was a little less insulting to my intelligence. I kind of feel like Man's Best Friend flipped out my brain once or twice.
Might have.
So it took a couple of hits on my rating because of that, I have to admit. So, all right, Ben Harley, let's get out of here. And then let's see. Well, it's kind of a canine week, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
A little bit, yeah. So and I hope you enjoyed Canine Week more than we did.
Yeah.
But next week, I don't know what week it will be, but it will be the next one preceding this one. And until then, Mr. Ben Harley, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
You've been listening to the Tim Owen Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.